Hi everyone. We have already completed the first two chapters of class 10th history. Today we are going to start the third chapter. The third chapter is the first phase of Indian national movement. The Indian freedom struggle started from the revolt of 1857. But a real breakthrough of the Indian freedom struggle is given with the formation of Indian National Congress, that is from 1885. From 1885 to 1947, the leadership of the Indian freedom struggle or the nationalist movement was taken by Indian National Congress. So during this period, the Indian freedom struggle is divided into three phases. These are the three phases of the Indian nationalist movement. The first phase is called the early nationalist phase, that was from 1885 to 1907. The second phase of the nationalist movement is the assertive nationalist phase, that was from 1907 to 1916. The last and third phase is called the Gandhian era, that was from 1916 to 1947. These three phases of the nationalist movement are different in its approach towards the British, but the intention was more or less same. Today we are going to study about the first phase of the nationalist movement in detail. The early nationalist phase. The early nationalists were a minority in the society. That means most of the early nationalists belong to the upper class or upper middle class. They are educated Indians. They are belonging to the professional group. Almost all of these leaders were Western educated and they were barristers, doctors, professors, teachers and other professionals. As these people belong to an elite community, their activities were limited among the educated upper and middle class. The most important early nationalist leaders were W.C. Banerjee, Surendranath Banerjee, Dadabhai Naoroji, Rash Bihari Ghosh, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Firoz Shah Mehta, Madan Mohan Malviya and some enlightened English people like A.O. Hume. Then following are the demands of the early nationalists. One thing you have to remember, the early nationalists never demanded freedom from the British because they believed that the British rule is a blessing for India because they thought that Indians are not able to rule the country. In their opinion, the British are just and good and they are ruling India for making the country to be self-sufficient and self-reliant. And they believed that once Indians are able to rule the country by themselves, the British will leave the country. So the early nationalists considered the British rule is a blessing and they made some demands. These are the important demands made by the early nationalists. The first one is constitutional reforms. Constitutional reforms means some changes is to be made in the administration, like abolition of India Council, because the early nationalists believed that India Council is not going to make any benefit for the Indians. Then they wanted to expand the legislative assemblies and legislative council. And another constitutional demand was the increase in membership of Indians in the local self-governing bodies. The second demand was economic reforms. Economic reforms mainly the reduction of land taxes, reduction of military expenses. A huge amount of the revenue collected from India was spent for the military purpose. Then the third economic reforms demanded by the early nationalists were availability of cheap credit, loans at low rate of interest to the peasants and farmers. The third demands made by the early nationalists was administrative demands. Some reforms in the administration was demanded by the early nationalists. The first administrative demand was Indianization of service. The British promised that if Indians are qualifying in the Indian Civil Service examination, they will be given better post in administration. So the early nationalists demanded that more Indians should get better high post in administration through the competitive examination. The second administrative demand of the early nationalists was complete separation of executive from judiciary. Then the third one was third administrative demand raised by the early nationalists were the cancellation of License Act and Arms Act. The last demand of the early nationalists was for the defense of civil rights. Some of the acts passed by the British that is going against the civil liberties is to be removed. The first one is a removal of restrictions on the freedom of speech and expression. The restrictions on the press, all this should be removed. Then abolition of Preventive Detention Act. And last demand for the defense of the civil rights by the early nationalists were restoration of the rights of to assemble and to make association. So these were some of the demands made by the early nationalists. Remember, the early nationalists never demanded for complete independence or the expulsion of the British from India. Now we are moving to the next topic, the objectives and methods followed by the early nationalists. The first objective of the early nationalists is to educate people in India in modern politics, to arouse national political consciousness and to create a united public opinion. The intention of the early nationalists was to make a basement for the nationalist movement. So they wanted to educate the people of India in modern politics. They wanted to create a type of consciousness, a type of oneness among the people, and they wanted to train the people in creating united public opinion. In order to attain this objective, they used a set of methods. That set of methods is called the first set of methods. Remember, first set of methods are used for attaining the first objective, to educate people in India in modern politics, to arouse national political consciousness and to create a united public opinion. Following are the points of the first set of methods. First set of method. They held meetings where speeches were made and resolutions for the popular demands were passed. These meetings were attended by a lot of people, uneducated people. So in this meeting, these leaders, early nationalist leaders, presented their views. They tried to create an awareness among the people what are the demerits and effects of the British rule. So they conducted meeting, and in that meeting resolutions were passed. The second point of the first set of criticize the government policies. Some of the government policies, British policies, were oppressive. Against these policies, articles were published in newspapers. So they used press and other medias for criticizing the oppressive government policies. The third point of the first set of method, they sent memorandums and petitions to the government officials and British. They thought that if the British officials are getting complaints from the public, they will do something for the people of India. With this intention, they prepared complaints, they sent these memorandums and petitions to the British officials. Then the second objective of the early nationalists. The second objective is to influence the British government and British public. The early nationalists believed that the British people are, British government and the British public are just and good. They believed in the sense of justice of the British. So they thought that the British government is not getting a real news, real incident happening in India. So they wanted to influence the British government through various methods. In order to attain the first objective, second objective, they used another group of method, another set of method. These methods are called the second set of methods. Following are the points of the second set of method. They made use of three P's, that is prayer, petition and protest. The early nationalists were depending on the generosity of the British. That is why they used the three P's method: prayer, petition and protest. They were not assertive in nature. They were not able to demand. They were not able to order. They are depending on the generosity. They are looking for a lenient attitude from the British. The second point of the second set of method, they sent deputation of Indian leaders to Britain. Deputations of Indian leaders were sent to Britain. The intention, the duty of these Indian representatives is to present the problems of India before the British government. Then third one, a British Committee of Indian National Congress was set up in London, which published a weekly journal named India to present India's problems before the British public. In order to influence the British public, a branch of Indian National Congress was set up in London. The duty of this branch of Indian National Congress is to get the attention of the British. With this intention, they published a weekly journal. In that weekly journal named India, articles were published. They hoped that those British people reading the problems of India will present these problems before the British Parliament, and the British Parliament will take some steps in favor of the country, in favor of